Alright guys, so you clicked on the thumbnail. You must have some interest in some custom saddle gear improvements. I know since I've done the secret video, I got a lot of comments about, what size is that platform, or what is the comfort level like with the angled edge. And I have to admit that the angled edge is completely different than anything you've ever stood on as far as saddle hunting. And it's worth the wait if you order one of those. And I've seen earlier he's shipping some out. They've been waiting on some brackets, and Cruiser's now sending them out. But I was contacted by a buddy in Alabama who has a Tethrd Predator Platform, and well, he likes the size of that. He's used to packing that. He doesn't have to change anything with the setup, but he really desires of an angled edge. And he knew I was a machinist. I said, well, why don't you just send it to me and I'll see what I can come up with. So some of you may have seen them. I'm calling them a PXG. I sold some of them on some saddle hunting Facebook groups and posted them on there. And I sold the first batch of them, and so far the reviews I'm getting on them is people love them. They're not cheap. I understand that. But I mean, they're hand built one at a time by me. I mean, I'm the only person making them in my spare time. I don't do this for a living. I'm just putting it out there for people that love their Tethrd Predator platform and they want that angled edge. They don't want to upgrade to a bigger seeker or whatever. So I started doing that, and this is basically what it looks like. For some of you that don't know, it is, you can see I put I call it knurling. It's got a good grip on it. Now this here is an XL model. I didn't originally make them in this. This is my first one. This is a prototype. I just got done with it not long ago. So now I will be building PXGs and PXG XL. So I mean, if you a Tethrd fan, you just never plan on upgrading, I've got to make a batch of these, okay? I haven't, this is my first one. I got a lot of hours in building that. I can't give you a price till I build a whole batch of them and figure out how much time I got, because I mean, I'm not going to do it for less than the guys making at McDonald's, and I'm already almost to that point. Trust me, they're high, but it takes a long time to custom build stuff. It's, people, the original PXGs, they're smaller than this. They take less aluminum and they take less time to build. They range from a smooth surface, $100, and the small knurling that I put on them was $125. And I had a large knurl that I was doing for $115. Well, what I come up with on this one is basically what I would call a medium knurl. It has the cool look of the large knurl. I mean, but it's got almost just exactly the grip that the small knurl does. So I'm probably just going to do these original XGs in a knurled and a smooth. Now, honestly, I haven't sold a smooth one yet, so I might just do away with that altogether. Doing the medium knurl, I'm going to do those, the knurled, for $120 on the PXGs. Right now, as long as my aluminum prices hold, I'm going to continue to make them. And I can only build one thing at a time. So I build a batch of these, and I build a batch of these, and I build a batch of these. I just build different stuff. But right now, this is my first XL, and it'll probably be the last thing I build, okay? PXG's probably in a couple weeks. The original size, I've got 3 or 4 people that's already said, hey, when they come in, when you get them made, I want to buy them. So I'm going to make them because I got some sold. But that's what it looks like. This angled edge really relieves your feet, your ankles. I mean, if you want the Seeker, by all means, go buy the Cruiser Seeker. It is well worth the money. It's just a bigger, wider platform than the Predators. Now, this is the XL. This thing is a beast compared to the original. I didn't realize there was that much difference until I got both of them in my hands. This thing is humongous. And the guy I made this for has got size 14 feet. He probably needs it. I got a size 10. I told him, with this on there, I'd flip it upside down and put me a seat on it. I'd have me an ultralight hang-on. I mean, that's how big this thing is. But so PXGs, originals, and XLs. I don't know on these prices. They're going to be more than $120 because I've got quite a bit more. Just the odd length because the thickness. These bolts went from a nickel a piece to add 3/8 of an inch to them cost me a quarter a piece, and it's got 12 of them there. So you can figure it just costs more to build one bigger. It's more aluminum, both in all pieces. So we're probably looking at 140 for an XL model that's knurled, probably 120 for a smooth and 140 for that. That's what I'm just gonna go with that. I mean, I might lose a little on it, but I could probably do a batch for that. I've already bought the aluminum. I know what the aluminum's gonna cost me. So PXGs XL. So I got started doing that. I heard a lot of people say, man, I got Hawk sticks. I would love to have a good platform. And if you've watched my channel, you realize that I've hunted off of Hawk sticks for the last 2 years off of a 4x4 piece of angle that I knurled the top of it and made my own little stick platform. Before I purchased the Seeker, that's the only way I've saddle hunted, and it's worked, and it will work. But after standing on that Seeker, I thought, you know, I really would like to have a stick platform that has that angle on it, and it has a flat. You know, I like them both. There's situations where both of them come in handy, and that's what I was hearing from people. Hey, nobody's really making anything for a Hawk stick. I need an option for a Hawk stick. Again, haven't made a batch of them. These got twice as much aluminum in as anything. I have started on a batch. And if you want to follow along and find out where I'm at and what I'm working on, go to my Facebook page, Dixieland Bow Hunter, and just like it or follow it or whatever. I post updates on it 2 or 3 times a week. People know where I'm at, what I'm doing, what I'm working on. So if there's some of this interests you, you'll know when I'm working on it and when to be prepared. I'm not taking no money from people for pre-orders, because I'm not going to sell you something that I ain't got to sell you yet. So I'm not taking money in advance. When I get them built, I get them built. I'll sell them then. Anyway, I want to show you this. I'm calling this the Cadillac Hawk Platform. I mean, I just thought it's a catchy name. Kind of like the Cadillac of saddle hunting. Cadillac. So you can remember that. Basically what this is, this piece right here, right here, it looks almost identical to the original PXG, and it's exactly the same size. This piece is 3 inches by 11 7/8, and this piece is the same length, 3 inches by 11 7/8. And you can see it goes on the stick like that. You got 3 inches of flat, you got 3 inches of angle. It also too comes in knurling. Now I'm only going to sell this in knurling, and I'm working on my first batch. These are probably going to be somewhere between $180 to $200. I don't know until I get my time in. I mean, I know it's high, but I'm building it for quality, for function. And I mean, if you want them, you want them. If you don't, you don't. You know, I'm going to sell a batch of them anyway. But anyway, I want to show you something about this. And this one really means something to me, because while I love that Seeker platform, and I bought Muddy Pro sticks, I know a lot of people knock these Hawk things, but hey, they're alright. They work. I mean, I haven't had any issues with them, so I'm happy with them. But I've always had the long ones. So to be sure, when I built this, I want to be sure that whatever I made would fit either the long or the short, and they do. It's same hole patterns. So I'm going to show you how this goes in case you ever get one. I want to make a video to explain what things are for. If you look at this platform, this piece is cut out to fit exactly on the stick. Now you see a lot of people bolting stuff to it, or you see the little Hawk platform they sell and they just got pins and people are bolting them, and then they're bolting and squeezing this hollow part. You're going to bust that. You can't tighten that down. It will bust. So what I'm doing on these Hawk sticks to strengthen them up. Now this was just a prototype, and I have found that by doing this, it does the stick wheel torque at the bottom of it. So I'm going to make these an inch longer. Then I made these just 2 inches the same depth of my bracket. But before I mount this to my stick to use permanently, I'm going to start making these 3 inches long. And what they do is you just poke them in there. They fit pretty snug. Put them in the side. Take your other one, and it'll be obvious which end it is, because one end's going to be way longer. Okay? You just slide them through there like that. Now you can compress that all you want. Then all you got to do, your stick should fit right on there if you can get a hold of it. It's going to drop in there. This is the back piece. Now I tapped this one, but if I was selling to somebody, I'd probably just put a through hole and a lock nut because I just would feel safer about that. So unfortunately, I done bought $25 worth of bolts to do it this way, and then thought come to me, it'd probably be better if somebody had a lock nut they could check regularly. But anytime you do any of this, y'all, anything I say is a DIY. I mean, I can't be liable for it. My parts are better than what you're bolting it on. That I can guarantee. That my parts will hold more. But anytime you add anything to an existing platform, it will void your warranty with Tethrd, or, you know, if you got something else you want made. It's going to void that warranty because I'm not sure what the dynamic load pressure is going to change. Most people are going to stand on this a little bit, but not a lot different than they did originally. So I really don't see it changing that much. I mean, most people aren't going to stand on their toes out there because that ain't going to be comfortable neither. Most time you're going to be, all it does is give the ball of your foot. But my parts are every bit stronger than the platform or the stick they're going to be bolted on. So, I mean, I have utmost faith in that. But again, this is a DIY. You are putting it on there and you are adding it to it. And, you know, I hear some people like, well, I wouldn't buy it because of that. But you go buy daisy chains or Amsteel whatever thingamajigs that you have no idea. I mean, be honest. We all change all that stuff out. And a lot of times we don't even know who made it. If they have any knowledge of it. Well, I do this kind of stuff for a living. So I know what this aluminum should hold. And what I'm building ain't going to be an issue. Anyway, that being said, the original PXG I should have covered weighed 1 pound and 7 ounces for the knurled model. Probably 1 pound and 8 ounces without the knurling. I have not weighed that one yet. It's going to be considerably heavier. I'm figuring probably 1 pound and 12 ounces. That's what I'm guessing. But these platforms here, now, can you make them lighter? Yeah, I can make them light as you want them. But I ain't standing on no Coke can at 20 feet up a tree. I mean, this right here weighs 2 pounds, 12 ounces. Yep, it's not a featherweight. Could I build it lighter? Yeah. But what if it broke? I don't want that on my conscience. So I make them the way I make them. The way I see it, hey, if that's 12 ounces heavier than you want to carry, lose some weight. I don't know. I mean, there's somewhere else you can save besides with safety. So anyway, you want to go lighter. But to me, if I don't have to carry a platform, this is already lighter than the platform. And like I said, I'm probably going to hunt off that Seeker quite a bit. If I'm doing an all-day set, I'm going to carry my Muddy Pros and that big Seeker platform. I'm going to sit up there and have a good time. But if I'm getting off work or I got one Saturday afternoon, a couple hours, I'm probably just going to grab these little mini sticks. I'm in the middle of painting them. I'm fixing to add some custom Amsteel 8ers to them like I did the Muddy Pro stick. This is going to be my go-to choice. If I'm hunting 6 hours or less, it's probably going to be on this. So back to this. You just set that down on there. Line your hose up. This piece here is made just like the bracket. Okay? You put that through there. Line all your hose up. Slide your bolts through there, which is a whole lot easier. You get that thing lined up. I've been moving it all around. You just drop your bolts in there. And these are 6mm alloy bolts. Now, you know, that's what I'm talking about the price. I could buy zinc plated bolts for a nickel, but they ain't worth a dime. They don't have the same load rating. So all the bolts and hardware I use on everything is a good quality alloy steel. Because why skimp on your safety? Saving a dime ain't worth it. Even if you are putting 12 or 13 of them in there. And of course I already had the sticks removed here. I mean the steps removed on this platform. These are 6mm. They'll take a 4mm Allen wrench. There it is, guys. Put it on there. That's how long it takes to install it. Take your steps off. It fits the hose that's there. You don't drill nothing. You can look up in there. It's solid. There's a complete way I designed it. there's a 1/4 inch wall that encompasses this whole stick. Plus I filled those gaps in so I can squeeze it down. And it ain't going nowhere, guys. I mean, I don't know what the load rating would be because I'm not an engineer, but I think I could run over it with my F250 and it's still going to look like that. Will the stick hold up that? No. It's probably going to break if you get over 300 pounds, what it's rated for. But anyway, if that, you know, if that interests you, again, look at all those boats. I mean, it takes a lot of hardware to put something like this together. Personally, myself, I don't like welded stuff, especially aluminum welded. Aluminum welding is a cold welding that doesn't bond particularly well. I know they have processes that are better or worse, and I can't tell you from one manufacturer or another what they use to do it. It's great for filling holes in boats, but I ain't standing on it. That's just my own opinion now. I mean, I see stuff all the time in the shop that's welded. I see steel welds break. Anytime you weld something, you created a weak spot. I don't care if it's aluminum, steel. Anytime there's any heat involved, it is now weaker than it was when you started, because it crystallizes the metal, it hardens the metal, and the harder you make a metal, it just gets more like a piece of glass. It's easier to break. The harder it is, the easier it breaks. So I'm not going to weld these things up. I'm going to bolt them in with good alloy bolts, and I'll probably Loctite the platforms in. I will say this, if you're a PXG owner, like I said, these are the cheap zinc plate. That's all I could find till I special ordered some bolts for them. So this is just prototype. The guy's ready for it, but I told him I'm not sending it till I get my hardware in. I'm not going to send it to you with cheap bolts in it. But what I would suggest, if it's something that you're going to add only for long sets, that you would put some kind of anti-seize on your bolts, because steel into aluminum will gald. It will, over time, get tighter and tighter and tighter. Go to the auto parts store, get you some bolt anti-seize, put it on there, screw it on there. You'll be able to put them in, put them out. They'll never give you any trouble. If you want it on there permanently, go get you some Thread Locker Red Loctite. You know, if you know I'm putting it on there, I ain't ever taking it off, go on Loctite that thing in. Put you some red Loctite on it, put them on there. It's better than welded. You ain't getting it off without taking a torch to it and heating it up to a point that it almost melts the aluminum before that stuff's going to break loose. So anyway, if any of these things interest you, if you got a Predator platform and you don't want to upgrade to a bigger, I've heard from some, you know, my pack, I've already got all my stuff figured out. I didn't want to get a bigger seeker, another backpack, figure out how I'm going to carry all that stuff. So I would just like to have one of those. And for the most part, you know, they've been really happy. Well, all of them. I've never heard nothing negative with them so far. They still fit in the packs that they carried them in before, what I've heard. And I mean, it's up to you. I mean, this is custom work. It's kind of like a custom gun maker. You can buy a Savage or you can buy a custom Bagara. You know, they both kill deer. They both work just fine. Just one's gonna cost you some more, and this ain't cheap, because I mean, I know how many hours I got in it, guys, and trust me, I ain't gonna get rich doing this. I ain't got time to get rich doing this. But I'm just trying to do it for people that want an option, and they want something quality. They want something that works well. The knurling on this, you won't find a grip, no better. Your boot can stand on that, and it will grip it like Velcro. The only difference is it makes no noise. As you rotate, you won't hear nothing. It just grabs your foot. Matter of fact, you can't really twist well on it. It grips so good. But it's not a noise issue. I mean, maybe if you had on rubber boots and you was really trying to make it make noise, but I mean, I've been hunting off of it for 2 years now. Off that original one, I put the same surface on it, and I haven't had an issue with it. I've hunted in some super muddy, swampy spots that my boots were so, the steps coming up, you couldn't even see my sticks. They were so covered in mud. But when I got on that platform, I was fine. I didn't slip. I didn't have any slippage. So anyway, if you got any ideas, you know, and I hear from mission owners and EDP, all the different platforms, and they're like, do you make them? Well, I can't buy them all. So, I mean, if you got an idea and I got time and you want to send me something, have me custom build something, I mean, I'm willing to try it if you are. So far, I hadn't run across nothing I couldn't figure out yet. So, I've been talking to one stickers. I'm not a one sticker. I'm trying to figure out what they would like in a one stick to build. Well, I can't say the ultimate one stick. They already got that. But to build a really good one stick option to somebody's spec. So I mean, if you got some ideas, throw them out there. I'm trying to get into doing this a little on the side, just to help people out, make a little money to fund my hunting. Who knows? One of these days I might go in business, and you know. But for right now, I'm just a guy that goes into work at his father-in-law's machine shop a few hours early and stays a few hours late when I got time, and no family commitments. I work on it here, I work on it there. So currently working on 6 of these. So I'll be able to nail down a price in a week or so when I get those finished up in my spare time. I mean, it's hard for me to say till I be able to see it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you these things. If this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please, by all means, go to my Facebook page, Dixieland Bow Hunter, and you can send me a message directly. I will get right back to you, unless I'm in church or I'm asleep. One of the two. I usually got my phone on, and I'm usually pretty fast to respond. So if you got any ideas, you want to see something else, and be ready. I've been out scouting all morning, been out scouting some public land with my dad, and I've got cameras hung up on my private land spots. I'm starting to get some good pictures. So if you enjoy watching deer hunting, even though, you know, I'm no professional deer hunter or videographer, as if you ever watched any of my hunts, you already know that. But if any of that interests you and you want to keep up with what I'm making next, or, you know, someday I might make something you're interested in, and that's my whole goal, is to make, I'm building some prototypes so I can learn how to make things. So if somebody calls me up and says, hey, I'd like to buy one of those. Well, if I can make a batch of them, I'd rather, because it saves on time and it'll save you money in the long run. But right now it's kind of slow. I'm trying to figure it out. Right here where I'm standing, and Lord willing, in a few months, it's going to be my own personal milling machine. I'll be able to do it at home, where I can spend more time with my family and maybe put more time into making it. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you need a PXG or a satellite platform for your Hawk sticks, go to Dixieland Bow Hunter, send me a message. Like it, you'll know when they're available. You'll be one of the first ones to know. I'll post it there before I ever post it for sale on Facebook. So, and any customer stuff, with their permission, if they send in reviews, I'm going to share it on Dixieland Bow Hunter so you can see what other people think. I mean, I don't, other than the first guy that I made it for, and I've never met him, but I've talked to him for a couple years, so I mean, I'm not giving to my buddies to do reviews. I'm not that way. That it's going to be an honest review. So anyway, if any of this interests you, please go to Dixieland Bow Hunter and follow that. And I appreciate you guys watching.